Even though we've sailed with this cruise line before, this cruise was filled with new experiences. We were on Holland America's newest cruise ship, but almost everything about this cruise was different than what we planned for. Hi there, I'm Ilana from the website lifewellcruise.com. Welcome back to my channel. Now, we planned our Panama Canal cruise months before our sailing, but as it got a little closer, there were some things that we actually wondered about. It was 12 days long, which was the longest cruise that we have taken since the pandemic. And with only 5 ports, we did wonder, would we be bored? Would the food get too repetitive? And would 3 people in a cabin be a little bit too close for comfort? As with travel these days, there were some changes, both good and bad, that I will share in this video. Now, we were on board Holland America's newest cruise ship, Rotterdam, and in this video, I'm going to share our experiences with the ship, the cabin, the dining, the entertainment and activities, the ports of call, and I'll also share who I think this cruise ship and cruise is for. And as always, I'm going to include some tips and tricks that you'll want to know along the way. Now, before I get started, I did want to mention 2 things. Firstly, thank you for bearing with me. I'm in a hotel room in Florida, but I did want to put this video out while it was still fresh in my mind. And secondly, if you like this video, if you find it helpful, informative, or enjoyable in any way, then please do give this video a big thumbs up. I really do appreciate it. And please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Let's get started. First, a little bit about the cruise ship. Holland America Rotterdam debuted in 2021. It is Holland America's newest cruise ship and part of the Pinnacle class. Now, fun fact, if you've ever heard of the Rotterdam before, it is not your imagination. This is actually Holland America's 7th Rotterdam, and you can actually stay at one of the original Rotterdam cruise ships in the port of Rotterdam. The cruise ship has been converted to a hotel. At just under 100,000 tons, Rotterdam is considered a mid-sized cruise ship and is a sister ship to Koningsdam and New Statendam. Now, even if you've sailed on those cruise ships before, there are some really nice differences that you'll find on Rotterdam. The passenger capacity is approximately 2,600 with about 1,025 crew members. You'll find that the cruise ship has a really interesting combination of both traditional and modern elegance. The public spaces. On the top decks, there were 2 pools. One of them is a covered pool, which is great if there's any rain or cool weather, and the aft pool has a beautiful view of the wake. Now, on these upper decks, you'll find a variety of seating and loads of it, as well as a really nice sports deck where oftentimes people were playing pickleball and some traditional games. And there are some fantastic views from the walking and jogging track. Now, I have to be honest, one of the things I really liked about the pool areas was that I could always find a deck chair that was pretty close to the pool. Now, heading through the doors of the pool, you'll also find the spa and the salon, as well as some casual dining venues, including the Lido Market Buffet. Now, I will share more information about the food and dining coming up shortly. Now, as we head inside the cruise ship, to the public areas on deck 2 and deck 3, this is where the cruise ship really does come alive, especially at night. Now, on deck 2, you're going to find restaurants and the main dining room. We're going to come back to that a little bit later on. And you're also going to find Music Walk. This is great for entertainment, classes, talks, and activities during the day, as well as entertainment in the evening time. Now, you'll also find a little bit of shopping on deck 2, but as we head up to deck 3, we're going to find the guest services, we're going to find the Grand Dutch Cafe, a perfect place to stop for a coffee or a drink, and a sweet or a savory snack. A really nice shopping area where you'll find fashion, jewelry, luxury designer bags, souvenirs, and more, and the casino, which is always hopping. The cabins. Now, we originally booked in a standard veranda cabin. We've been in that cabin before. It is comfortable and it is beautiful. However, what did happen this time is as our cruise got a little bit closer, we were able to upgrade our cabin to a Vista Suite. Now the Vista Suite just added that little bit more space that we really did enjoy. Of course, we did enjoy the veranda or the balcony as well. Now the cabin had a lot of storage areas, and in the past we've stayed in a veranda cabin, and we also found that the closet space and even a little bit of extra storage that we were able to find under the bed, well, that was definitely a plus. Now I did want to show you the bathroom. The bathroom is really nice. It has glass shower doors, and one of the things that I liked best was that the toiletries were all Elemis, including some hand lotion that I really did appreciate. Now, while a balcony is definitely not necessary, we did really appreciate that balcony view, especially as we did go through the Panama Canal. Now, our cabin attendants did an amazing job. They were attentive, they were friendly, and they handled any of the special requests that we did have, usually pertaining to laundry. And they do have twice a day housekeeping, so our room was cleaned in the morning time and we had the turn down service in the evening. The food and dining. Now on this cruise, we did something different that we have never done before, at least when it comes to the included food or the main dining. Now I am going to share with you the food that is included, both casual and the main dining, and I'll also share with you the specialty restaurants. But what we did is we did book in Club Orange. Now Club Orange is something that does come included if you have one of the higher suites. However, it can be booked on your own if you want as well, but there is limited space. Now we decided to try it out to see if it was worth it. If you'd like, I can do an entire video all on Club Orange, but I will say that the food was just wonderful. Now the food in Club Orange, which is basically a separate space, at least on the Pinnacle class ships, where you have a smaller, more intimate dining room. You have all the food that is included on the main dining room menu. However, there are some extra dishes that are prepared by an in-restaurant chef as well. Now there are a few extra benefits besides the attentive service and not really having to wait for a table. That was definitely good. But if you do want to see a video on Club Orange and if it was worth it, please let me know down in the comments below. Now when it comes to the main dining room, it is rare for me to say that the food is that good, but it was really that good on this cruise. Not only was the taste very good to excellent on pretty much most of the dishes, but the presentation was fabulous as well. Now in Rotterdam, you also have the Lido buffet. That's where we went most of the time for lunch or even a snack. The variety of food and the presentation was really nice. And I do appreciate the fact that it is mostly a full serve buffet. Now, in terms of the casual dining, there was Dive In, which is basically burgers and hot dogs. My husband and son do think that it is the best burger at sea. And I personally, I just am a very big cruise pizza fan. I thought that New York Deli pizza was great, and you could really make your own custom pizza if you like. Now we did order room service a couple of times, in particular for breakfast when we had an early morning excursion, and as well when we were in the Panama Canal. Room service is included. These specialty restaurants, we went to 3 specialty restaurants during our cruise. So a little tip before your cruise, try to make reservations. However, if you don't get the time that you want, once you're on board, try and speak with the maitre d' to see if you can make any changes. Now we went to Pinnacle Grill. One of the things that you really do have to have if you're at Pinnacle Grill is the clothesline bacon, and I would say even the mushroom soup. It is that good. Now we also had dinner at Tamarind. That's an Asian restaurant, and it definitely is one of our favorites. I had the Szechuan shrimp, and every time I do go to this restaurant, I have the exact same thing, and it never disappoints. Now Rudy's Salle de Mer, I think, has the most unique menu and the most unique and exquisite presentation. The food was absolutely delicious if you're a seafood lover, but there is a variety of food. But if you're a seafood lover, this restaurant is definitely a must, and something that you have to have. So this is a little tip, is on the dessert menu, there is an Austrian berry souffle. This is Chef Rudy's recipe, and it is the ultimate in comfort food dessert. The entertainment and activities. Now during the day, there are a variety of activities, classes, workshops, seminars that are offered on the interior of the cruise ship, either on deck 2, in some of the different lounges, or in Crow's Nest, which is a surprisingly happening place. Now in contrast to some other cruise lines, there are few poolside activities that are going on. It is a pretty chill and relaxed environment. However, you still are going to find a few things, including a sail away party, some occasional line dancing, and even a Panama Canal swim across the pool. Now, something that we found that we didn't exactly expect was that being on a cruise ship for 12 days was just what we needed. We really needed a little bit of R&R and some downtime. And we found that this atmosphere for this cruise was just perfect for us. Evening entertainment. Every evening there were shows going on in theater, and as well you had a variety of music on Music Walk. And this is really where Holland America excels, and in particular the Pinnacle class ships. This did not disappoint. Most of the time after dinner we would head over to Billboard on board and check out the two amazing piano players. We particularly enjoyed their request hour. Also, the rock band at Rolling Stone Rock Room was just amazing. The band at BB King's kept everybody dancing, even at the Orange Party night. Now, by the way, if you are going on a Holland America cruise, don't forget to pack something orange to wear, because there usually will be an orange party, and while dressing up is not mandatory, it is part of the fun. The bars. Now, something else that we did in particular in the evening time was we enjoyed having a drink at the Half Moon Bar, as well as some of the other bars. They were really good on this ship. Now, my husband and son in particular really enjoyed the smoky old fashioned, and I still like my classic Aperol spritz, but I did also enjoy many of the wonderful martinis. Now, we took the Have It All package, which included the signature beverage package, so it gave us a chance to try out some of the drinks and the coffees, and as well it included specialty restaurants, a shore excursion credit, and basic Wi-Fi. Now, I am going to share with you the demographics on this cruise, as well as who I think this cruise is for. But first, I did want to share with you our cruise ports of call. There were some changes that were made in our cruise ports of call. There were some things that we liked better than we thought, and there were some things that we liked less. So I do want to share this with you in case it can also be helpful. Now, we had 5 cruise ports of call besides our day that we were sailing through the Panama Canal. So first, we were in Half Moon Cay. That is an absolutely beautiful private island. We love it there. Now, what Frank and Ethan did is they did a jet ski excursion. It's the first time that they did that, and they absolutely loved it. Unfortunately, they weren't able to take any video, but they really only had good things to say, and I definitely do recommend it. Now, after that, we just enjoyed the day on the beach. It was absolutely gorgeous. Now, our next stop was Aruba. I always love Aruba, and usually we go to Palm or to Eagle Beach, but this time we decided to do something different, and we took a Jeep excursion that brought us to the north side of the island. Now, this was definitely a bumpy ride, so know this, but it was really fun. We got to go to what they call the Natural Bridge. Now, along with several stops, and by the way, you would never be able to swim there. The water was way too rough, but we did have a stop towards the end of our tour at Arashi Beach, where we were able to see the sun setting. This was just perfect, and I think I would return there again. Cartagena. Now, our day in Cartagena was a little bit short, so we decided to book that excursion through the cruise line, and we booked an excursion going to Old Town. Now, that did surprise me in the way that, firstly, it was very beautiful. The buildings are colorful, they're beautiful. But the local people, the vendors, I guess you could say, walking through the town, they bordered on aggressive. I never felt unsafe, so that was a good thing, but just a little bit of a warning. Now, a highlight was we did stop at a little local pastry shop. I don't speak any Spanish, but we could still figure it out. It was so inexpensive, and the pastries were absolutely delicious. Finally, we had our day where we were crossing through the Panama Canal. Now, our cruise ship went through the new locks, the Agua Clara locks. Now, some cruise ship passengers did go out on the bow of the cruise ship to be able to view as we were going into the locks. We opted instead to stay on our balcony and have a little bit of breakfast along with our view. Now, we spent the afternoon while we were in Gutan Lake up on the pool deck area and really admiring the view and the landscape before we did head out to the bow as we were crossing back through. Now, I will leave a video with more details of things that you'll need to know if you're going on a Panama Canal cruise at the end of this one and in the description below this video. Now, Costa Rica was one of the places that I was really looking forward to going to, but I guess this is where you learn as a tourist or a traveler that not everything is as it looks on TV or on an episode of House Hunters. We did enjoy Costa Rica. It was just a little bit less developed, especially in the port area, than we probably did expect. Now, the excursion that we did was to a sloth sanctuary, and while the sloths were not the highlight, surprisingly, we've gone to another sloth sanctuary in Roatan that we much preferred. We did really enjoy the canoe ride that we did on the small river. We got to see monkeys, we got to see crabs, we got to see a sloth right up in the tree, and even a baby alligator. Now, when you look closely, I think there might be a mommy alligator that we didn't notice when we were there. Now, we had a port change that we were actually pretty disappointed in, but it turns out that I think it was for the best. We ended up, instead of going to Key West, going to Montego Bay, Jamaica. Now, I really wasn't looking forward to going there. I hadn't heard great things, but we did an absolutely fabulous excursion that I do recommend and we really enjoyed. The excursion we booked was a bamboo river rafting excursion on the Great River. Our bamboo rafting guy, he was just fabulous, so nice, told us about the area, and even included was this clay sort of pedicure. In a way, I know it sounds different, everybody did it, and I do highly recommend it. So who was sailing on this cruise ship and who do I think this cruise is for? Now, this 12-day Panama Canal cruise did skew a little bit older than our other Holland America cruises in the Caribbean and in Alaska. According to the crew, the average age of the passenger on the ship was about 65, with obviously some people being older and some people being younger. Now, longer cruises do always attract a little bit of an older demographic, but that being said, we had some amazing conversations with some of the different passengers that were both older than us and younger than us. Now, I think that this cruise is for anybody who wants to relax, who enjoys good food. The food was excellent, and who enjoys both a traditional cruise experience with more of a modern feeling. This cruise definitely was relaxed and never felt stuffy or stuck up. Now, on our cruise, we met younger couples who were loving the opportunity to dine and reconnect, and we also met some multi-generational families that had young kids and even teenagers with their grandparents as well. Now, whether you're on this itinerary or another, Rotterdam is really a perfect cruise ship for anybody who doesn't feel like they need water slides or roller coasters or race cars and prefers a little bit more of a traditional cruise ship with a modern feeling. Now, I am going to share a playlist of other Holland America videos as well as my Panama Canal mistakes to avoid right after this one. Now, please let me know if you've sailed on this cruise ship or if you're going to be in the future. Please let me know down in the comments below, and please let me know as well any questions that you might have. I will do my best to answer them. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do give it a big thumbs up. I really do appreciate it, and please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Bye for now, and happy cruising.